All right, today we're tackling something huge. What does it really take to build an app that succeeds in the age of AI? It's about going way beyond just the code and getting a handle on those hidden layers that make something truly great and, more importantly, stop it from becoming a total disaster.
Okay, let's get into it. You've seen this everywhere, right? This promise that you can just fire off a few clever prompts and an AI will spit out a complete, ready-to-go app. And look, it is an incredibly exciting idea. The tools are getting mind-blowingly powerful. But, and this is a big but, that whole promise, it hides a much, much tougher reality. See, on one hand, you've got the dream, right? A super fast launch. Maybe it even goes viral. But then there's the other side, the nightmare. And honestly, way too many people end up here. When you only focus on that initial build, you're opening yourself up to huge problems, like user data leaking right out of the browser, or an app that just crashes the second it gets popular. That dream can turn sour fast if you don't have a solid foundation.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start by busting that app building myth. Then we'll dig into the 3 pillars of doing it right. The blueprint, which is your process. Then we'll talk shields up, which is all about security. And finally, the foundation, which is where your app actually lives. Then we'll put it all together.
Okay, first up, process. Pillar number 1. And the best way to think about it is this. Imagine you bought that giant 1,000-piece Lego Millennium Falcon, but you threw out the instructions. You might, eventually, build something that kinda looks like a spaceship, but it'll be a chaotic mess, probably fall apart, and take you forever. A good process is your instruction manual.
And this right here, this is so important. It's really easy to get distracted by the latest, shiniest AI coding tool. But what the experts all say is that a good, solid process is always more important than your tools. A great plan with simple tools will beat a terrible plan with amazing tools every single time.
So this whole process thing, in the tech world, it's got a fancy name, the Software Development Lifecycle, or SDLC. But forget the acronym, seriously. Just think of it as the official recipe for your app. And when you follow the recipe, you get a result that's predictable and safe, and you always know how to make it better next time.
And at the very heart of that recipe is this loop. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You don't just throw an app out there and cross your fingers. No, you release something, you watch what happens, how people use it, what breaks, you learn from that, and then you improve it. This little cycle is what separates the apps that get better and better from the ones that just fade away.
All right, let's bolt on our second pillar, security. If your process is the blueprint, then security is literally the shields. Shields up! Because in today's world, it is completely non-negotiable. You have to be ready for anything.
So here's the big shift in thinking. For years, security felt like a chore, right? A bunch of annoying hurdles you had to jump over at the very end. Well, the modern way completely flips that on its head. You design your whole system so that doing the secure thing is actually the easiest thing to do. It's the default path. Okay, but what happens when we throw AI into the mix? How does that change the game? Because building with AI isn't just about securing our servers anymore. We have to secure the AI's brain, too. And that opens up a whole new can of worms. Well, this gives you a pretty good idea of the brand new battlefield we're on. We're talking about stuff like prompt injection. That's where someone basically tricks your AI into breaking its own rules, or RAG data poisoning, where they deliberately feed your AI bad info to mess it up. These aren't your grandpa's security bugs. This is a totally new frontier of attacks. And all of this leads to one non-negotiable truth. You can't just bolt on security at the end like some kind of feature. It doesn't work. It has to be woven into the very fabric of your app right from day one, from the very first design document, from the very first line of code. Okay, time for our third and final pillar, infrastructure. This is the foundation everything else is built on. It's the plumbing, the wiring, all the invisible stuff that, if it goes wrong, the whole house comes crashing down. You know, a reliable app isn't just luck. It's engineering. It's actually a formula. It starts with really smart design, it's kept alive through smooth operations, and it's constantly getting better because of that feedback loop that learns from every little mistake. It's an outcome you build on purpose. So, what are we actually talking about here? Well, this comparison says it all. AI has seriously cranked up the complexity. A classic web app had, a few main parts, but a Gen AI app today? Whoa, it's a completely different animal. You've got all these new, specialized parts that all have to talk to each other perfectly. And this quote, man, it just nails it.
It's so easy to think, oh, I'm just calling an AI. No, no, no. The reality is you are building and running a complex, interconnected system. And every single one of those little parts is a place where things can go wrong if you haven't planned for it. Okay, so we've got our blueprint, our shields, and our foundation. Now let's put all the pieces together. Let's see how you really get from that first spark of an idea, that first prompt, all the way to a real professional application that's built to last.
And this table just lays it all out, plain and simple. You need process because it gives you predictability. If you ignore it, you just get endless delays and bugs. You need security because it builds trust. Ignore it and you're looking at data breaches. And you need infrastructure for reliability. Without it, your app is just going to crash all the time and cost a fortune to run. You need all three. And this right here is maybe the most important thing to take away from all of this. It can feel like you're slowing down, right? To stop and think about process and security and infrastructure. But it's not a delay. It's the exact opposite. It's an investment. It's the only way to build something that actually survives in the real world. So I'll just leave you with this question. That amazing idea you've got rattling around in your head, the app you're dying to build, are you just planning the build? Or are you planning to build something that will actually last?